Welcome everyone. We are heading into another Amonkhet draft. This is Flaring Pain, and we are hoping to get a better draft than we had last time. Had a rough draft. Just went 1-2 with a pretty mediocre deck. Anytime I end up in 3 colors, I don't feel good in this format. A lot of people like to play 3 colors, but I'm a fan of trying to stick to 2 if I can, unless I get triple Evolving Wilds or at least double Evolving Wilds. Alright, let's see what we got here coming up in just a second. We just need one more lucky drafter to hop into this last space. This format's pretty robust. I like it quite a bit. Initially, I liked the sealed format a lot more than the draft, but I'm starting to realize now that it depends on the type of sealed event you're in. If you're in a situation where you have to go 3-0, it's just a rough situation. It's just not or sorry, not 3-0, but like 5-0. It's rough unless you have like specific bombs. Anyways, here's our pack we opened up here. We've got a fetid pool, so we won't be taking that. Pretty cool art on the fetid pools. I like that the art is of land mass, which is good for land cards. So looking over the pack, it's really not very much exciting. These 2 cards are the best 2 cards in the pack, the Vizier and the Aven Initiate. Or the Broken Lands is mediocre, it's fine. Not something I really want to first pick. Ronus Monument, it's an okay card, but nothing too exciting here. I think we're going to go with the Aven Initiate here. This card's pretty good. It's a pretty strong card, and it ends up being good in like every deck, it feels like. Could take the Vizier instead, but I think we're going to go with the Aven Initiate here. Okay, interesting. So we got past Hooded Brawler, Essence Scatter, Scaled Behemoth, and Fanbearer. This pack was quite a bit better than our pack. I think I like taking the super cheater, totally unfair, ridiculously overpowered, totally unreasonable, really dumb, and not fun Scaled Behemoth. Creatures with hexproof just shouldn't be in Magic at all. It's fine if you have like a rare, like the troll. The troll aesthetic was kind of cool, the trolls, when it was actually just on those trolls, when they used to call it Troll Shroud. But really, mostly, Shroud is a reasonably fair ability, Hexproof's not. I think we're going to take the stupid giant crocodile, though. He ruins the game a lot of the time for the opponent, so we're going to go ahead and take him. Wow, another one. Alright, this draft might be a little bit boring, but hopefully we'll do pretty well in it. Pretty strong having 2 of those. Vitalist here is the definite grab. Destined to Lead is a good card and worth looking at sometimes, but really the Naga Vitalist we want really bad since we've got a scale Behemoth, so it'd be really nice to be able to get him down on turn 5 instead. Alright, so if we had a really good card in here, we would take it. Like a really strong card in any color, but we don't. I mean, we could take like a Decision Paralysis, which we're probably going to play in the sideboard or something. Haze Pollen's not really a good card at all. We could take a Winged Shepherd to speculate or something like that. I don't see it. I think we're going to go with the Evolving Wilds here. Makes the most sense. Alright, so green looks to be open. It's pretty rare you get past double Scaled Behemoth. And then the Vitalist was the 4th pick. Which, I mean, is, the Vitalist is fine. It's a pretty good common. But the Scale Behemoth is one of the stronger uncommons in the set, just because it's unbeatable for a lot of decks. There are plenty decks that when they play against it just have no way to win at all. They just lose automatically to it. Here, I think Gale Strike is the best card for us to take. It's a pretty strong card. It's not quite as good as, what's it called? Not Exclude, but Repulse, which was the really old one, I think from the Invasion block. For 2 and a blue, you could return target creature to its owner's hand and draw a card. At instant speed, didn't have to be tapped, but it's still a pretty strong card. We got a white cartouche here. We've got the Horror of the Broken Lands. We're just going to grab a Stinging Shot, which may make our main, but it'll definitely be good from the board if we run into some flyer decks. So, I don't think I've had a Scaled Behemoth in any of my drafts online. I don't think I've taken one in live draft either, but I have had them in sealed quite a bit. Or quite a few times I've had them in sealed. I don't always play them. I really don't like the card because I think it's... I don't like cards that are hard to interact with. This card just... It's almost impossible to interact with. And it's not even necessarily that great. Like, sometimes you have it and they have a bunch of 1/1s, and since it doesn't have trample, it doesn't work. But then anytime you play like blue cartouche on it or green cartouche on it, then it just totally ruins the game. Anyways, I'll stop complaining about the crocodile now and let him help me defeat my opponents. Alright, we could take a Ronus Monument here. I actually kind of like the Ronus Monument with these two fatties, because giving them +2/+2 and trample is totally unfair. Benefaction would be a card you could take if you wanted to speculate on grabbing cartouches, but you need to end up with like 5 or 6 enchantments before it's worth running. Spidery Grasp is decent. We've already got one. I think we're going to go with the Ronus Monument here. So the Pouncing Cheetah gets a good bit better once you have Ronus Monument, but the card is just so rough that I just don't want to put it. I don't want to put it by my other cards. I'm afraid it's going to like infect them with its badness. So I'm going to go ahead and just grab another Stinging Shot. Okay, so here we don't really have good options. So what we'd want to do here is think about what we'd take if what would we take if we had no blue cards right here. Well, which one of these would we take? And I'm not really sure which one we would take. I think we'd probably take this Miasmic Mummy, so that's what we're gonna do. It might have been the Festering Mummy instead, but aside from the Changelings, there aren't a lot of zombie jackals in Magic, so we can just take this one for the collection. That way we'll have one in our online collection. That'll be really good. And also its breath doesn't assault the senses. It pollutes the mind. And I would actually tend to disagree with that. I bet that its breath does also assault the senses. Maybe you should say it doesn't just assault the senses. Because you can't imagine that the zombie jackal is going to have good breath. That's just not going to be... It's going to assault the senses almost certainly. What is that a picture of that got smashed on this Violent Impact? Man, they are shipping these beetles. Showing how open the beetles are. Okie dokie. Okay, we got a green cartouche. That looks good. We got an Essence Scatter. That's a good card too. Bitterblade Warrior's okay. Ancient Crab's fine. Spring to Mind's fine. But the green cartouche is definitely where we want to be. Totally overpowered and unfair with the Scale Behemoths. Reasonable with the Aven Initiate. Probably still the best cartouche in my mind, though the black one has gone up a lot for me. Other notables in this pack are the Black Trial and Gustwalker. They're both good cards. Also, all the cycling lands are pretty reasonable, the rare cycling lands. I think I reasonably like where our deck is right now. We do have a creature shortage. We've only got Naga Vitalist and our 2 amazing creatures in our Aven Initiate. So, you know, we could definitely do to have some more guys. Ronus Monument gets pretty bad without any creatures in your deck. There are really only 2 ways to deal with the Scale Behemoth in this set that do a good job of dealing with him. I mean, hypothetically, that black card can get him, but not really. Oh, wow, this is interesting. So here we don't have a great green card to take. So we could take the Aven Initiate here, and that's probably what we should do. But we could also take the Regal Caracal. I mean, there's an argument for taking this here. I do kind of like the fact that our blue is more of a splash, though, here, and that we don't have double costers in it right now. I think we're going to take the Aven Initiate. I really like the Caracal. I think it's a really powerful card, but I think we're going to stick in the 2 colors here and try to stay with our Aven Initiate here. Okay. Here, I'm not sure what we should take. I mean, Open into Wonder is reasonably strong with these scale behemoths. Zenith Seeker is reasonably strong with the scale behemoths too. We've got 2 cards to cycle so far, but we'll probably end up with more. Kudu's a creature. Maybe it's the Kudu. Kudu seems fine. Seeker wheels a lot, so let's grab the Kudu here. Alright, so Seeker of Insight's probably going to be good. We have quite a few cards that are non-creatures. We also could grab the Greater Sandworm, which is a nice big creature that can help us close out the late game. Not as good as the Scaled Behemoths, but a little bit different than them, and can cycle. Let's grab the Sandworm, I think, here. Alright, we get the Vizier of Tumbling Sands. That's pretty awesome. Our deck would actually probably be a smidge better if we took the other Vizier instead of the Aven Initiative, but we had no idea we were going to get past double Scale Behemoth. That's just insanity. So we're going to go ahead and take the Vizier of Tumbling Sands. Oh, Gideon's Intervention just went past in that pack. That's one of the cards that can actually deal with the Scale Behemoth. Well, mostly it can still block forever, but... Alright, so we're going to take Essence Scatter here. We could take another Stinging Shot, but 2 is plenty, and Essence Scatter is a really good card. There's a Lay Claim. Man, this deck's shaping up. There's a Cancel and an Oracle. We got 8 dudes now. Are we going to play all the dudes we've got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, I think we're going to play all those creatures. We could take the Oracle or the Counterspell here, the Cancel. I think I like taking the Oracle. Gets down, gets in the way, kind of adjusts the mana a little bit, or adjusts the top of the deck a little bit, which can help with the mana if you're getting too much or too little, and you can also trigger the Ronus Monument with an additional creature. Awesome. Awesome. Second Essence Scatter, very nice. I think we're going to grab the Cheetah. That was actually one of the reasons I was considering the Cat Lord, is because there's the greedy Cat Lord thing you can do where you put a bunch of these stupid cheetahs in your deck that you can get late in the draft. And then you've got 4/3 flashing lifelink cats, which if these guys were 4/3s with lifelink, their value would be a lot different than it is the way they're currently printed. In fact, if this cat was a 2/3, I would probably love this cat. But since he's a 3/2, I hate him. It just feels like he can't flash in and get anything. He can't kill anything to flash in. I guess I shouldn't hate him as much as I do. Like 3/2s for 3 aren't that bad, but he just makes me so angry. Alright, we still only have 3 cyclers, I think. 1, 2... Oh, we got 3, 4 actually. 5, we got 5 now. Alright, we're going to take this... I don't know, we're going to take the Swamp away. You guys can have those cards. Maybe we'll find a matchup to board that in. Okay. Alright, there's a Swamp Forest. Let's see if we can get in this final pack here. Our deck's actually pretty close to finished here, so we just need a few cards. It'd be nice to get a few really high impact cards. Another Vitalist wouldn't hurt. Ooh, a Glory Bringer. Alright, so first things first, we need to do a quick check and make sure that the Glory Bringer isn't worth so much that it warrants taking regardless of whether or not we want to actually play it. Wow, 2 ticks. Not super exciting. Okay, 2 ticks is not enough to automatically take it. We could consider splashing the red Trial. That's a lot easier to splash. We could take Synchronized Strikes, kind of a pain in the butt. We could take Aven Initiate. I think I like Aven Initiate here, actually. Having a bunch of Aven Initiates with the pump ability of the Ronus Monument's pretty dope. We're not going to take Glorybringer here. We're going to pass it. What is even happening? Alright, so we're going to take our 3rd scale Behemoth. I don't know why, if that's a thing, but it is. Now, the Crocodile of the Crossing is a really strong card. It's a really good card. I'm talking about it's like a great second pick card. It's a pretty good first pick. I mean, it's fine as a first pick. But we have 3 of these, and I'm wondering if maybe we want this Vizier to just get these guys out faster. I think I got to take the Crocodile. It's just such a good card. But I hope this guy comes back, and we're getting a nice deck put together here. Alright, we could take Bitterblade Warrior here if we wanted, or Heckma Sentinels. Bitterblade Warrior's fine. Heckma Sentinels is fine. Neither is that great. Colossopede's good, but we got a lot of beef already. Let's see what we are probably not going to play. We're probably not going to play Pouncing Cheetah. Probably not going to play Zenith Seeker. And the rest of these cards we're probably going to play. I like Colossopede, but I wonder if it makes sense to play him. Yeah, let's just bring the beef here. Let's do it. Although I guess we could use a early game trade. A way to hit something on 2 besides the Vitalist. I'll go those 2 Essence Scatters are kind of on 2. Alright, so we're gonna take another Aven Initiate. We're gonna go with 4. We're gonna roll with 4 Aven Initiates in this deck. I think our real options here are Ancient Crab, draw 2 cards, and Stinging Shot. But I think we actually need to take the Crab so that we can survive in the early game in order to get to our late game stuff. I think we're going to take the Crab here. We can take Quarry Hauler, I think. You know, we may want to take the Electrify, actually. It's worth considering splashing that in if we really need it, if they have like a Super Bomb or 2 really important cards that we must kill. And we don't need the Quarry Hauler. I think we're going to take the Electrify. We might actually splash this in due to the Evolving Wilds, depending on the matchup. I think Decision Paralysis could also find a home for being splashed in here, so we're going to pull that in the board as well. Man, this deck looks pretty saucy, though. We've got 24 cards right now, and I really wish we could have one more card that could help us improve our mana. I really doubt we're going to get that Vizier back, but I'd love to see a Vitalist or a Vizier here at the end of this. We can probably pull this Spidery Grasp out. I think we're going to want to run 17 in this, probably. 17 lands, that is. There's a Bitterblade Warrior. We can play that. So let's get this sucker back down to where it should be. Let's pull the Spidery Grasp for now. Grab another Stinging Shot, but we're not going to put that in the main. Cool, Seeker of Insight. That's pretty sweet. Okay, so looks like we're gonna need to make a couple cuts here. It's another Stinging Shot. Man, we're gonna be prepared when we play against like the all flyers deck, and we get to have 3 Stinging Shots. It's 4 Stinging Shots rather, I think. 4 4 stinging shots. It's going to feel pretty unfair. I think our main deck actually needs to run with no stinging shots so that we can play 17 dudes. Cartouche and Gale Strike are definitely good enough to stay, and so is Lay Claim. Ronus Monument probably is if we play this many guys, and the 2 Essence Scatters definitely are. Okay, I think this is fine. I wonder if we have this many guys if we need the Ancient Crab. Let's look at our deck with our creatures separate. Yeah, we probably do need the crab. I'd like to run Decision Paralysis in this deck. It seems pretty good. But I can't imagine cutting any of these cards for it, really. I guess we could cut like Naga Oracle for it. Or Colossopede for it. Yeah, let's cut the Oracle for it. I found that Decision Paralysis is really powerful whenever you have a bunch of these initiates. Also, it's really strong with really big creatures that can just blast through and win the game. Alright, so let's get some land. Let's put these back together. And let's throw some land in here. I think right about even. Yep. I think Magic Online is right in this case. We want the early green for these guys, but we still need a little bit of early blue because we've got all these and this. Got 2 different ramp cards here. We do want 17 lands, I think, in this deck. Alright, looks good. Hopefully we'll be able to win some games with it.